Yeah.
Already.
Oh, is there blood?
No, but...
Stump Kitchen, gluten-free vegan eats, Stumptastic treats.
Yeah, that's probably good for the carrots. You can snack on some more. Now, you want to put these in?
Sure. In Britain, where I like to cook beans the most, they come in a bit of carrot. Thanks.
Okay. That's what friends are for.
But it comes very tightly packed in cellophane.
These do?
Yeah.
Oh.
The ones I like to buy in a shop called Tesco's.
Okay.
And the reason I like them is because I chop them in the bag. They're all nicely lined up for you.
Oh.
Right? All squashed in the bag, and you just get the bag over the top. And then you've got this central bag of chopped bean.
But in my case, I would just line them up as best as possible.
Yeah.
Stick my whole arm on it and just kind of go like that. Otherwise, they get kind of wibbly-dibbly-doo. This is Thai basil. Holy, this is like what dreams are made of. So I think what I would do is I wouldn't chop it. I would just kind of hold it and just rip the leaves off.
Okay.
Just as so. And we can even use these little flowers. They're just so pretty. Okay, ginger time.
How do you chop ginger? Because sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard.
Absolutely. I think there's a couple different ways. So
Are you going to... I was going to ask. You're going to grate it?
grate it for sure. And look, this Airbnb has this cool thing. This is amazing. So I think what I'm going to do is...
Careful.
So this is great. So I'm going to just... This is great.
Very good.
I mean, yeah. So this is the thing we can do. This, I will usually just like, I'll bosom it. So that's kind of, those are my options, I think. What would you do?
I actually don't grate it.
What do you do then?
I cut the skin off,
Oh, wow.
sacrificing quite a lot of the ginger.
Wow.
But my grating skills are not good. Plus, I don't like the little grate.
No.
I'll have a go.
Yeah.
We're on Stump Kitchen.
I mean, see how it feels. There you are. Yeah.
Already.
Oh! Is there blood?
No, but I already did it. And
I know
also,
where the
did you
first
see how
aid kit is.
scarily close to my shirt it was getting?
Great, 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 great.
Stump Kitchen. Does it have a theme tune?
Absolutely, and I wrote it. It goes like this. Stump Kitchen, gluten-free vegan eats and Stumptastic treats. Yeah. Ginger, done.
Ginger done.
Beautiful. Okay, so we have, do we want zucchini in there?
Shall we chop it?
Absolutely. Why don't you chop that and I will chop up some tomatoes.
These are a real bugbear of mine because I never get them quite right.
What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is they're either raw or mushy.
Oh,
I can never get them quite right. I think the secret is to put them in quite late in the process. And also, at least, what would you say that?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a good body to them because then they don't shrivel up and die. These tomatoes are lovely. Like they're not super...
I love those. What are they called? Plum tomatoes. I love plum tomatoes.
Yeah,
I always use them in
really,
cooking.
really nice.
Now, there's the secret Stump Kitchen. Because there's some things that you do with your mouth.
Oh yeah.
And you're not meant to. And you wouldn't show it in a cookery program. But definitely don't take off the bit of the tomato like that. Definitely don't do that.
That is real life, my friends. Okay, we're coming near the end. I think it's, yep.
Now,
Yeah.
seeds or no seeds?
I am a really whatever.
What would you do if it was just you?
If it was just me, I would probably use the first chunk of it here and just use all of it.
You cut it there?
Yeah. And I would use everything inside. Like the whole thing, all of it.
Everything in there though? Or
No,
just that?
I would use just that, I think.
Oh, okay.
Although, yeah. What would you do?
Slice down.
Oh. And you would use some of the seeds for some spice?
I never use the seeds.
Really?
Yeah, because it becomes so much hotter with the seeds.
Let's try it your way.
No, I want to try it your way because I want to learn from you. You're the cook, you know.
Okay, so all we have left.
We get to the lime and the onion.
That's
right. Coconut and plus opening coconut milk.
All those things. But I think before we get to those two, we gotta whack our lemongrass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how do you do that?
So what we're gonna do is, you gotta whack it a little. Just get it.
Then what do you do?
So yeah, we whack.
Does that help to?
It just helps to get the juices flowing. And then honestly, I think we just, I don't actually know what the I'm doing, but this is a little bit of fun. And then maybe a little bit of this. Maybe. And then I was breaking it a little, like kind of giving it a little break. I think we just like cut it into maybe thirds and then it'll be ready to go. Okay, now I think let's do our lemon juice. And I think we'll use this. You've seen how I juice lemons and limes. So we're gonna do a little bit of this first. Just a little bit of that, a little bit of this, just to break up the juice capsules, etc. And then give it a nice chop in half. Yes, beautiful. And one of my favorite lines is, who needs a juicer when you have a stump? So,
No, but we have to swap.
why?
Because I'm left-handed.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's why.
Love it. You know, I still get that question sometimes. People ask me if I'm left-handed or right-handed. You know,
Wow.
I'm right-handed. And I'm like, fuck, really? All right, here's your instrument. And here's the tool. Get
Unfortunately, we do have to get very close because
absolutely. That's what this show's all
I always
about.
have to get my legs under something
Yep.
before I can get at it.
I'm ready. Yeah, and you can ground with whatever you need. Yep. Yes. Yes! 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 This is like one of the most amazing things that I get to do in my life.
And I can honestly say I've never done this before,
I know.
but it's even better than I imagined it could be.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And my little thumb kind of gets in there and kind of breaks around.
It does. It's really yielding a lot of juice, but
Yeah.
it's... Here we go.
Oh yeah. Oh, good angle is important. Give it a lick.
Oh, it's a sweet lime.
Is it nice? Mm. Oh, that is nice.
Isn't it? Mm-hmm. When did you discover that?
When I started cooking, I just
Right when you were a girl?
no. I didn't start cooking until 3 years ago when I started the show.
Really?
Yes.
I thought you were a lifetime cook.
Absolutely not. No. That's why I started filming, because when I was cooking for myself, it became such a joyful, embodied experience. My partner was like, we gotta film that. So there's our lime juice. Beautiful. Let's open and cube our tofu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I'm gonna start the onion. Oh, I'm gonna teach you my onion technique. That's gonna be good, but I'll get it prepped first. So how many languages do you speak?
Just 2.
Well, what about your Middle English?
Oh, no, I just did an audition for Middle English. It sounds like weird German, Swedish
Klingon.
Klingon.
Okay, so my onion thing, this is amazing. I'm gonna steal one, by the way.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you like to cut onions, but I like to keep the butt on.
Oh,
Yeah. And then do this. And then what I do now, I mean, it's way better with a sharp knife, obviously. But
yeah,
whatever.
these are a little blunt.
Yeah. But then you would go around following the natural lines
Yeah,
of the onion.
yeah.
As so. And I like a nice big chunk for a curry dish. Or
Yes, that's
whatever.
very similar to how I do it.
Yeah, and then it just kind of.
But what I haven't done is use the extreme logic of keeping this bit, because then you don't have to hold it together.
Yes,
Because with an onion this big, this is my hold grip,
yeah.
and this would really bust me out.
Absolutely.
Stuff would be going all over the place.
Absolutely, and all you need is just a little bit of like counter pressure. And so it not only does it hold it together, but it also reduces the crying factor, because this part is the most potent. As soon as you cut into that, you're just like...
But then I think all manner of things. But you know why? Because conspiracy theories are more entertaining.
They are.
What do you mean you're not entertained by the fact that you think everyone is actually a shape-shifting lizard? Wow! That's brilliant. And the Queen is? Mm-hmm. The Queen's a lizard. I've met the Queen. She didn't look like a lizard.
You met the Queen?
Yeah.
When?
Oh, I've got a nice story about the Queen.
Oh my God.
But we must keep cooking.
Yeah, we must keep cooking.
I did a travel fellowship thing for Winston Churchill Trust, went to help some disabled kids in Brazil.
Oh my God.
And that year was the 25th year of the patronage of the Queen, so she was handing out the medallions, so we got invited to Buckingham Palace. Now when you go to Buckingham Palace, this bloke who's like 6.5 foot tall and has a nose and a face on him that you're like, yeah, your whole family have looked like that for centuries. Now, when you're meeting Her Majesty, it's very important not to look into her eyes. You men, gentlemen, please, you take You regard her, look down, take 5 steps towards her, and if she proffers her right hand, that means she's willing to shake your hand, and you respond. Do not initiate the handshaking.
Oh my goodness.
Lots of rules. And then you're going to receive the medallion with your right hand, transfer it to your left in case she wants to do said handshake. Walk 3 steps backwards, swivel, and then leave.
It's like learning choreography.
So there I was, waiting in line. There's 200 of us. And there's this room through the doorway with the Queen and all. I mean, it's in bloody Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, yeah.
And I walk in, and she's, poor woman, she's on rotation. She's like, oh, very good. Next medallion. Hello, how are you? What did you do? Oh, very good. Next medallion. You know, like this poor thing. She's on a production line. So I'm walking up to her. She's fiddling with her, getting the next medallion out in the presentation of what. She looks at me, looks at my arms, and goes, oh. And I said, yes, Your Majesty, because we were quite hushed. I said, yes, Your Majesty, by the way, I'm not going to be able to hold the medallion with my right hand. Is that okay? She went, yes, of course. Would you like me to put it in your pocket for you?
Oh.
Like that. So the Queen, like...
Way to go, Your Majesty.
Got down with a bit of, like, disability awareness.
Yeah,
basically.
nailed it. Tofu time.
Tofu time.
That's
so
amazing.
Is that sufficiently cubed?
It is so
No,
good.
it doesn't look quite enough for 2 people, but you know.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I just keep eating it. It'll be good. We have some cans to open and then we can cook. Now, pick your poison. Which one do you think?
Well, I'm never going to be able to use the black one because the handles are all wrong for me.
Okay.
I would generally go for the bigger one.
This one? Okay, here you go.
Oh!
Is that it? Oh, wait, but which way? Is it for a left-handed? Is this a left-handed one? I'm really confused. Yeah, we're just...
Here's one of my real differences. Is that when you've got a thumb, so you used all that muscle line up
did,
there.
yeah.
I just watched you. You can poke through the thing. I often don't have
Yeah.
the required thing, and so I have to use my mouth.
Really?
Yeah. And sometimes.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That's how I do it, I'm afraid.
Yes.
And then, of course, you're stabilizing.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then I just tuck it into my elbow crook like that.
And I do that because I have to make sure that that's level.
Absolutely.
Because as I wind, it tends to do that, and then
Yeah.
spills all down my bloody shirt.
Yeah, so you get, okay, yes. Oh, this is...
I must admit, this is one of the few things that at home I do have an electric can opener.
Ah, yeah, absolutely. Coconut milk, tomato paste. And so now lastly, you get to show us your beautiful jar opening techniques. Bang, 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 bang.
Ah, got it.
Oh, you did it, way to go. I'd say like maybe a teaspoon's worth. I think I should try it first just to see, but
Okay.
I'll just, Oh.
Just the one teaspoon then.
Just the one. It's not actually too spicy, it grows on your tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've prepped everything. We may use some of this beautiful kale, we may not. We'll just see how we're feeling. So yeah, let's do
cook.
it. We're gonna cook, we're gonna eat. We'll see you in a little bit.
Stump Kitchen, gluten-free vegan eats, Stumptastic treats.